Anyways, these guys, he's Navy recruiter. His earlier sessions he did were very, very informative. I've seen a lot of stuff he talked about we've already looked at, but a lot of stuff he's going to talk about we're going to use later as well. So he's another tool in your toolbox. So utilize him, bug him, ask questions. He wants to answer questions. You don't, if you're speaking, you don't.
It's for the purpose of the
Gotcha. Okay, it's up to you, bro.
supervisors. You know how it goes.
Yep.
How's it going, guys? My name is Petty Officer Moser Ortiz. Already got my little introduction. My job in the Navy at this point in time is electronics technician nuclear. So what that means is that I am a reactor operator. For the past 4.5 years, I was a reactor operator for Southern. We also employ individuals that tie knots, or specifically individuals that do welding or plumbing. All those different jobs in between. I'm not saying I have the top tier highest job, but the application process for myself, as well as that welder, I'm not saying the welder's the bottom, but it's just an example, is the same process, which is just, all you have to do is just ask questions. All you have to do is just come sit down and just say to us, hey, let's just see if this is right for me. But right now, that is not why I'm here. Right now, it's more specifically telling you about you. This presentation, everything I have set up here is strictly about you. So my question to you first and foremost is, what's the plan? Right now, why are we here? Why are we in this program specifically?
To build.
To build, okay.
And start on a career.
Starting your career? Graduate?
To learn about a career.
Okay.
Learning new skills.
Learning new skills. All fantastic answers. If I can summarize all that, would you guys agree with me that you're here for a better opportunity? You're here for upward mobility. You're here to advance to a newer level beyond yourself where you are originally, from when you started. Fantastic. If I can hopefully get that concurrence, I'm good to go with that. That's good for everyone. So, my question to you is, once this is over with, after high school, so on and so forth, what is the next step? Where are you planning on going to? That's okay. It's okay not to know too. That's fine, because committing yourself to a plan that might not work with jumping into it 100% blind can hurt. How about yourself?
Probably the Army or the Coast Guard.
Army, Coast Guard? Nursing? Okay, still, I got some words on that. Not bad words, by the way. I just got a story just in case. Yourself?
Welder.
Say again?
Welder.
Welder? Okay, you know, I guessed, but that was good to know. How about yourself? Say again?
Mechanic.
Mechanic. Okay, fantastic. So a kind of different wide variety of jobs specifically. I didn't hear college, so I'm not going to talk about it initially, right? But the biggest part specifically is, I want to ask you guys, what is a good job? What do you define as a good job? 10 years from now. So that's the immediate, right? I asked you specifically, what are you doing immediately after high school? That's fine. Now look at yourself 10 years from now. And if that's still nursing, that's fine. That's still a welder, that's fine. Mechanic's still fine. But what do you define as a good job 10 years from now? You.
Stable financial income.
Stable, okay. Fantastic. And yourself?
What he said, but I mean, a passive six-figure job that makes you.
6 figures? Okay, 6 figures. I'm going to put that next under finance, but an extra thing. 6 figure. Bam. Everyone else? Again, you're going to be working in this job for the next 50 years. You committed yourself. That's it.
Something you enjoy doing.
Enjoyment, yes. Without a doubt, enjoyment. It is still an important factor to consider, because if you want to be a mechanic for 50 years, or a welder for 50 years, or a nurse for 50 years, yeah, hopefully you like it, because until your retirement age of 65, I mean, that's going to be it, right? That's why you don't want to jump into something you're not really sure of what you want to do right now. I think it is insane to think to yourself that 17, 16 years old, you are ready to know what the next 50 years of your life looks like. I know I still don't know what I'm going to do 3 years from now. And that's okay still. And I'm coming out here specifically teaching life skills, but at the same time, how the heck do I not have my plan out? But here's that. So, yes, enjoyment. So, I deal in facts and statistics. I deal specifically in truth. I deal in sources. That is all I care about. Everything else is kind of inconsequential to me because I'm a nerd. I carry a 20-sided dice and a TI-36X Pro calculator in my pocket at all times. On purpose. That is real, too. I'm serious. That's my job as a nuclear operator. Quality assurance.
With the 20-sided dice?
Yeah, okay, maybe not. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say.
That's for this job, but yes, I dabble, but either way. Hey, check it out.
I'm just playing, bro.
That's good. So, we said stable, financial, and 6 figures, right? Still agreeable. We all think that's a pretty good wage. So what's the average wage in America?
Minimum or annual?
Annual salary. What's the average?
Um,
We define good, and that's good. What's average?
Probably like 35.
Very close,
It's-
except the average wage, because Jeff Bezos exists and unemployment exists, and that means you have to take the stratification of both of those factors together. That means some people earn more, some people, that's average, right? Average is $55,000 a year. Average, with Jeff Bezos being at the very top. What you're saying, about 33, 34,000, that's the median. You know what the median is?
The most common.
Say again?
The most common.
Most common, that's kind of more mode. Median is along the lines of this. I have 10. The median is directly in the middle, right? A lot of wages. So what I'm trying to tell you is that half of America, half the United States of America, population approximately 300 million people, earn $33,000 a year. Half. That means some are getting more toward the line of about 55,000 because the average is the average, but the median is the median. Does that make sense so far? So these people are willing to settle with $33,000 a year. Even though we know for a fact 6 figures is the end result goal of what we're trying to go for, right? Okay. And these individuals that are earning that 6 figures, do you think they're happy, or do you think they're working every single day of their life to ensure that job still exists?
Depends.
They might. It really does depend on, maybe luck is a factor you might have to kind of consider specifically, but it's not the average. And it's also, it's not an unrealistic expectation, but you have to kind of more or less understand and process what reality looks like. Reality looks like joining directly out of the workforce. As you can see via right here, the state of Indiana median wage is approximately $35,000. $35,000 directly into the workforce. That means like an Amazon truck delivery driver at his 5th or 10th year in. Right? And people are okay with that because they don't have upward mobility, which is again the reason why we're here in the first place. Ascend past something else. So the next part is, if we're trying to earn 6 figures, how do we get there? Because now, okay, even though there's no college in here specifically, before we go on that, even though there's no college, with college, even people that possess a bachelor's degree, now goes back into mean wage because not everyone has a bachelor's degree. Now this is 25% of the population. The average wage for a bachelor's degree is $50,000 a year, which is half of 6 figures so far. That hurts. People spent $90,000 at a place like Purdue University to earn a $50,000 per year job. Ridiculous. And average, again, means some people earn more, some people earn less, but the average is still the average. Yes?
How much is it for Annapolis?
Annapolis?
Yeah.
Annapolis is the Naval Academy. That is free if you're accepted, specifically when it comes to tuition and room and board. Very stringent acceptance rate. I can go into that detail a little bit later. But that's a really good question to have, for sure. But still, $50,000 a year for a degree. But trades are very similar. You get your journeyman's license, maybe after 4 years of apprenticeship, which is again, back to Amazon delivery driver wages. 4 years of that, you buy your own tools, you pay your union dues over time. Journeyman for an electrician gets approximately $24 an hour, which is equivalent to a bachelor's degree, $50,000 a year. Why can't we earn 6 figures? Is our plan good enough? I mean, it's decent, right? We're setting and reeling in expectations of what the end result's going to be to make sure that we're better than the half of America and we're getting towards the range of average. Good so far? Okay. So, based on all of that, our immediate plans, trade school, not sure. Nursing, yes. College. How much for a degree? I kind of said it earlier, but how much?
I'm gonna guess 50. I don't know.
No, that's okay. Purdue University, you think it's a good school?
What
Purdue?
school? Purdue? Yeah.
54 out of 388 national colleges, top 15%. It's okay, it's not bad, right? Like national colleges being colleges that offer a PhD. Pretty good. I think it's personal, pretty good. The cost is straight from their website, $10,000 a year for tuition, $10,000 a year for room and board, $1,000 for books. What that means, every single year, on top of that student loan you co-sign with the parents, if they qualify for it in the first place, you're looking to pay about $90,000, including debt. That's okay, because you got scholarships, right? Scholarships. Do you have scholarships?
Not yet.
I mean, we can apply for FAFSA, right?
I did. I applied for FAFSA.
Is that a scholarship or is that a student loan?
For the scholarship part, but I'm waiting to hear back.
So FAFSA is a student loan. The Pell Grant is an education grant. The Pell Grant is specifically a scholarship. You will pay back that FAFSA. The application process, I'm not knocking your plan, by the way. I'm still saying, again, this is nothing but truth. But still, it is still a student loan that after your graduation from this college, you still will have to pay back. I don't think it is well interpreted of what FAFSA really is, and I'm just trying to save you guys from potentially making that mistake if that's a path you want to go to later. But you got $90,000. So now, statistics comes back into play. Are you ready? And this is harsh. This is very harsh. So, you go to college. And what happens in college is that, did you know that going to college, statistically, across the nation, you have a 40% chance of dropping out? 2 out of 5 students. I mean, out of the 5 of you, if 5 of 5 of you are right now probably looking at me and says, it's not going to be me, I'll never drop out. I'm good.
You never know.
I'm good for it. Yeah, exactly. You never know. What's the reason why? Finances. Can't pay for it. You did your first year, you got freshman composition 101 and 102. Why am I learning English again? I did that for 4 years back in high school. What the heck am I doing here? Why am I learning math and algebra 1 and algebra 2? It doesn't make any sense. I've done that already. And then $20,000 is gone. Just like that. You don't actually start going to your major, clinicals for myself, because I was a nursing major as well. You don't start going to your major until your second or third year in. About the $60,000 mark, in fact. So, that being said, again, this is not a slight against you. What I want you to do is roll this dice. 1 through 8, drop it on the couch. Hey, you got it. Guess what? Piece of paper. Congratulations on your degree. You made it. Good. Go ahead and keep that. Yes.
A degree and ramen noodles.
Oh, an infinite supply that you spent over the course of college. Yes. But yes, you have a piece of paper. What does that piece of paper tell you?
Nothing.
No, it's something. It really is something.
Okay, well, then in that case, it tells me that I made it to a milestone in life.
Yes, absolutely. A very intelligent response at that. It is also just the application to your next job. You're allowed to now apply to get to your next job. So, do you guys know what underemployment is? Underemployment, which is why I always encourage trades, by the way. Underemployment is specifically, you have your 4-year degree, and you still don't get the job you want. It means you're working at Starbucks, you're working at Amazon delivery driver. I keep using an example, but it's just one we all understand, right? So, roll that dice one more time. 1 through 11, because you have a 55% chance of being underemployed.
1.
All right, so now you're back down to Amazon delivery truck driver. It's $36,000 a year. After taxes, because taxes are still a thing, goes down to $27,000. And you have to pay back, potentially, if you did 4 years of your degree, because you earned the degree, $90,000 go. Start paying it back. But it doesn't end there. And again, this is supposed to be a horror story, but this is just be careful before you commit to a plan that you're not sure what's going to happen at the end result. So, $27,000, what does it cost to live? I mean, so just everywhere, right? It's not even just exclusive to college, right? What does it cost to live? You're going to stay at your parents' house forever?
$20,000.
$20,000, yes, on here, but really considering it, I actually went lower than the actual amount over in Mishawaka, all right? I pay $800 for a nicely mowed lawn, a chlorine-filled pool I never use, and noisy neighbors, and a waiting list for a garage for the next year. I pay $800 a month. I pay significantly more for my car, 2021 Honda Civic. Beautiful car. I'm not a mechanic, so you guys making fun of me, but that's okay. That's fine. I pay a little bit more for all this. I pay a little bit more for a little bit of everything. So over time, kind of going into this and realistically looking at what your life is actually going to end up being, now it's $27,000 after taxes minus $20,000. So now you have $7,000 to start paying back $90,000. Oof. Well, you might get your job eventually after 2 years of applying and reapplying and applying again. You have enough money, maybe start going toward your job. But here's the next part of the sad truth is that you might get it. You might get that job eventually. The debt's still going up the entire time. It hurts. It hurts to kind of think about all that implied, right? So, this whole time there is another solution, and this is exactly, you see the uniform, you know why I'm here, right? I'm a used car salesman, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I sell used cars because it's a deal. You don't go with $100 grand in your pocket saying, you go to the first dealership you see and say, that's the car I want, bam! You didn't look at the car, you didn't drive it, you didn't test drive it, you didn't find any information on it. No one would ever do that, right? But I'm a salesman, And I'm just one more tool for you to shop around in specifically. Another tool in your toolbox to consider, maybe this plan might work for you instead. So, that same university, let's reset everywhere else. That same university we're talking about, Purdue, and again, all source information, which I'm willing to show you guys directly after this point in time, is strictly 100% in-state tuition is covered. $1,455 a month. What that means is that you stay in your best friend's couch for $50 a month, you get to keep $1,400. Ridiculous. Every single month. And $1,000 in books a year. So what that means is that $90,000 just went away completely. You have your degree. At the 7-year mark, what's going to happen is that, oh, look at that. You're significantly more ahead than that other individual because you did 4 years of service in the United States Navy, and then you earned enough college credits in the Navy to kind of get yourself a jump start into college. And then 3 years later, at the 7-year mark, you've also suspiciously traveled the world. My goodness, look at that. On top of getting that free degree. And underemployment also kind of goes down because they trust you, because your resume is now, yes, I served in the United States Navy for 4 years. I worked in large and small group team environments. I did this and that and this and that. If they're looking for an average college student versus that in the Navy, I guarantee they're going to pick one or the other. So then it goes into trade skills. I didn't ignore you guys. I know you guys still exist, 100%. So how much is it for trade skill? For the trade you're going to specifically. Yeah, 10,000. That's the one I use. Some are 15,000, some a little bit more. You got to pay for your own tools sometimes. You got to pay union dues. It all adds up. And you're not making that journeyman pay immediately. You're making about $17 an hour, and again, that's average. That means you could be making less. I think the average starting salary for even that of a plumber is about $13 an hour. On top of cost of living still exists, on top of everything else. But that's okay because you have job security. Some of the things we talked about, stability of being very important for your job, right? There is another alternative for that too. What if you did 4 years of job certifications where you got paid significantly more than that living wage, where you don't even have a living wage to worry about anymore, while earning that journeyman's license for the next 4 years? And on top of that, we talked about earlier, are you sure right now, can you tell me, look me in the eye, do you want to be a welder for 50 years? Yeah, that's intelligent that you're willing to admit it. I'm not sure that I want to be this job or in the Navy for the next 2 years from now. That's probably the time I'm going to be getting out. I still don't know. Still intelligent decisions that are still being made. So 4 years later, you got your journeyman's license, but after that 4-year mark, you get the same access to that GI Bill that says, if you want to go back to college and probably make a profit off of it as well, you can do that. You can go back to the Navy, or you can now go to the workforce. You have 3 options instead of 1. That's what we're trying to more or less kind of get the point across, is that it's another option. And that is it. Strictly that is it. So, do you guys think any of this is fake? Okay, good. My sources are still at the bottom. I also have, lo and behold, a website. Oh my goodness, I made it myself. Please keep this paper for yourself later. What this website implies, or what it shows you, is that every single piece of this information is true, but I am not trying to sell you anything because I want you to do your own research. I want you to look at every single source and say, there's no way that guy is, blowing smoke. There's no way it's true. Do your own research to find out that every single piece is more true than what I'm even telling you. I'm kind of shielding you a little bit away from the harsh realities of life versus the pseudo-harsh realities that no one tells you about at this point in time. So, are there any questions for me